Hello and welcome everyone to a brand new video. My name is Plays, and in today's video we'll be starting our project of the Maxillipede shuttle, or I believe that's how you call it. It is spelt right here, so however this is said, this is what is what we're doing. So as of right now, I've roughly put together a cockpit. It obviously needs a bit more work. Like, all of these are plates instead of being like tiles or bricks, so it's very rough. But here's my general method of attacking this one. So this over here is the Rebrickable separatist shuttle. I will be using aspects of this for the final build. However, I found someone on Rebrickable who's done a really good job of doing their own creation of the shuttle. However, I'm not a huge fan of certain aspects of it, like this, and just overall kind of how small it is. It needs to be within the same kind of size though, because this shuttle type and this shuttle type are supposed to be about the same width and length and things. So I will do my best to like make it better without making it overly huge. But the first thing I'm going to do is try and change out this cockpit for this cockpit. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll be right back. I'll be back when I have some progress. Alright, so you probably noticed there's a big difference of the amount of stuff that I had in the previous cut and what I have now. So basically, I've been doing a lot of work on this off camera and forgot to do a progress update. So I just rewatched the last update, last clip, to make sure I knew what to talk about. So yes, I have installed the cockpit, and I have basically almost reworked the entire ship anyway. So here's kind of like my thoughts for the wing, the front wing. I'm currently going to probably be experimenting with this front half to try and get the angling all right and all the details there. This is kind of what I've got going on for the middle section. That's like the hallway or passageway between the back and the front of the ship. And I'm still using this one wing that was originally on the model in the previous clip, but it's probably going to be changing eventually too. I'm also considering changing out these parts here. These were used by the creator of that original design, but I'm not so sure I actually want to use them anymore. But that all just depends on how I get this front bit worked out. Yeah, this is kind of like the sloping for the back, which is also a reason why I'm deciding I'm probably going to switch out this wing, because this sloping slopes into the wing. As far as the interior is concerned, let me go over here. So there is enough space to recreate one of the scenes in D Squad, where R2 and the other two astromechs are right here, and the other astromech is up there along with the pit droid. You should be able to fit them all within here, all within the interior when I'm done with this. There's also the 4 chairs that this ship has in the cockpit area. Right now, I have several different designs for the seat backs. This one is using one, this one's using one, and then these two are using the same. These two are, the only reason these two are different is because of my shaping for the exterior out here, which are these slopes going up that become the wings, and then the slopes for the hallway thing. So I will probably have to go with seats like this. It loses a lot of the detail that these chairs are supposed to have, but I'd rather get the outside to look good before I get the inside to look good. As you can tell, there's a bunch of random stuff everywhere. Most of these are just parts from the original model. This is a copy of this wing. I had a feeling, or I had a thought of maybe using this wing from the Rebrickable separatist shuttle for the Maxillipede here, but I'm probably just going to design my own. Especially this front wing. This front wing has a lot of angles going on with it because it connects to this. It actually connects to the cockpit piece, and just trying to get it so I can have the white markings where they're supposed to be. And one thing I just noticed that I've somewhat done correctly by accident is there is supposed to be a slit here So there is supposed to be a bit of a divot between all of these parts and like this little slit in the middle of the wing. So I thought that was interesting. I didn't do that on purpose. Like I said, I did it on accident, just trying to get these slopes to work out. Right now I'm debating between this type of slope piece and this type of slope piece. I need to relook at a picture because it's been a minute since I've even worked on this project as well, but I'm going to try and hopefully actually get it done by the end of this week. So this clip is being recorded like 3 to 6 months later after the previous clip, and that is mainly because I had gotten myself distracted with working on other models, finishing up my last semester of college, and being on summer break now, and a bunch of other things that had happened. So try and catch you up on everything that has happened to this model. So a lot has happened. It's really close to being done. For phase 1 that I typically do with my models, now that I've actually been making custom mocks for a while now. So as you can tell, this cockpit area still looks relatively the same. However, I actually have gotten it connected to the body, which is nice. Previously it wasn't. And I've also been able to get it so this entire panel here is connected down here. And I think it's also connected up here. I don't quite remember. Within that 3 to 6 months, I also haven't worked on this at all. I think except for like there was one random day that I got super inspired and then just busted all this out. So and then I ended up watching a few of the episodes that the ship appears in the Clone Wars show. I think it even showed up in Star Wars Rebels for like an episode or two. And so I noticed that down here at the bottom where like the landing gear and the landing pad thing are, that there's like this huge cutout where this is in the middle section. So I beefed up this entire bottom area to allow me to include that detail, and then there's also some other details I need to include down there as well, including landing gear. I haven't even touched landing gear at all yet. A few other details have changed, like I got the colorings almost right. Obviously, because it's Lego, there's certain parts I'm not going to be able to do. I also had to change up how this front bit looks, so a lot of the white that was here is now gone and has now been switched with dark blue. As far as the interior is concerned, let me switch to right here. I did put a battle droid in there. He should be able to fit in that area. The problem with this cockpit is there's a lot of actual full bricks here, so these front chairs might actually not be usable, but I'll have to do some testing. This build is to the point where I can do a prototype IRL with my actual part collection and figure out how things actually work in real life, and see if I can come up with anything with my actual bricks to get things done. That's like phase 2 of my building process, but which is going to be very necessary because right now these wings are actually quite hollow, and I just threw stuff in here to allow me to connect things in studio. Otherwise it'd be even more tricky for me to get things lined up. But right now there's a bunch of these hinge bricks that are just floating, so in phase 2 I'll need to figure out how to get those to not be floating. I really like the back area here, albeit it's not done, as you can tell. It's quite flat too. But I just like how everything came together after working on this side. This is the side I spent the most amount of time on, and then I tried to mirror everything on this right side to this left side, and I think I got everything. Obviously there's these areas here that I need to fill in, and then there's this huge area right here. I have left off this back area a little bit just because I need to rewatch a few of the episodes that this shuttle is in, and I need to find a good back shot so I can figure out what the other details are. I'm really proud of how I was able to get these two pieces to connect to the connect to the ship. I had to do some finagling using these 2x2, what are they called? 2x3 plates with the hole in it, and then some other bits and bobs, because normally they should be like this, like these two, but I wanted to get this shape because that's kind of how the engines looked that I could remember from looking at back shots of the shuttle. So I really wanted to get those in. I think I did a good job. I need to figure out how many of these pieces, as you can tell, it's complaining because technically these pieces don't exist in transparent yellow. So I'm going to need to go through my collection and Bricklink, and I could probably use Studio, but Bricklink would be a little bit easier. I figure out what parts, specifically bricks and plates, actually exist in transparent yellow, because that's another issue here. I swear these exist in transparent yellow, but they might be 1x2s. That might be what I'm thinking of. And they might be kind of hard to get because I think they were from like the old 70s and 80s sets. So those might be hard to get. Well, probably 80s and 90s. 70s is like super vintage Lego. But yeah, the next major things I need to do is this back area, like we've already talked about, and this bottom area, because I would love to be able to have the little landing ramp and landing gear. Apparently the landing gear completely hides in these bricks, because right now this is just a bunch of bricks. I would love to be able to try to come up with this cool Technic mechanism for these probably Technic landing gears and landing feet to pop out, and then when you put them away, so it be in flight mode, they'll completely hide away. I think it's possible in this model due to the amount of space I've got, because if I change some of these from being 2x-whatevers to being like 1x-somethings, I should have enough space in here to do something fancy. So that'll be really cool. Let me actually show the interior real quick. If I just hide, ooh, that's gonna hide way too much stuff. As you can tell, I've done nothing to the interior. I don't remember what any of the interior looks like other than the front area from that one scene where you can see like R2 and KT and the other astromechs just chilling right there. And then I forget his name, and I'm about to call him Gaston because that's the only name that comes to mind, but the little green guy, him just chilling in that chair. And then the pit droid, which I don't think I'll be able to get a pit droid to fit in that front chair. I might be able to get the new Lego style pit droid. Definitely not the old one that they did back in 1999, but the new one from like the advent calendar. I might be able to get that to fit, but who knows? We'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much where this is at. So the next progress update for this might not happen for a while, because I'm currently actually gotten myself addicted to building custom TIE fighters. And so a lot of my Clone Wars related projects have been put on hold because I'm trying to get a lot of these TIE fighters done. For those of you who don't know, I updated my Rebrickable store and released a bunch of stuff for what I consider wave 1 of my design. So feel free to go check that out. This model in particular will probably not be ready for wave 2. I have no idea when this will actually come out, but obviously the sooner I can get to building this in real life, the sooner it will be turned into instructions and released. So hopefully sooner than later. But all right, we will end it there, and hopefully I'll have another clip for you all when I start building this in real life.